Let's bring in now Dilly Hussain, who's from the Muslim news site 5 Pillars. Dilly, good to speak to you. Thanks for coming down. A lot of people are looking at this attack and saying it has obviously enormous similarities to the Westminster Bridge attack and the London Bridge attack in the sense that a vehicle was used. Do you see any links between the two?
I mean, of course, there's undeniable similarity with regards to the nature of the attack in how van rental was literally ploughed into a crowd of people. So there is that similarity. Now, with regards to the motivations of the perpetrators, I guess we have to just wait until facts come to surface. But one thing is very clear, is that yesterday's attack, one of the perpetrators did say, as you mentioned, I want to kill all Muslims and I did my bit. So I think we can't deny that. And we have to deal with the kind of anti-Muslim sentiment that's becoming increasingly widespread in this country and Europe by and large.
Have you noticed an increase in anti-Muslim sentiment since these other terror attacks?
Of course, there always is. I mean, a number of hate monitoring organisations have highlighted this, that whenever there is an attack of some sort, there's an immediate spike in attacks against Muslims, predominantly Muslim women, places of worship. But I think there's also an element of how the media has to responsibly cover these stories. I mean, for 15 to 16 years post 9/11, you know, the British public have been fed this narrative that Islam and Muslims are somehow a suspicious community. We've been otherized. So with that being fed, it's only a matter of time that these attacks would become increasingly normalized and widespread, unfortunately.
And just on that theme, in terms of there being a disconnect between what the young Muslim community feel and what the British authorities say, there was a lot of talk last night that the police didn't arrive for over an hour. But you know, we've spoken to the Met and we spoke to the ambulance service. They say they were there within 15 minutes. The police say that they had people on the ground immediately, but that reinforcements came within 10 minutes. It's just interesting to think, why do you think these narratives develop?
Well, we had reporters on the ground, we had people doing Facebook live feeds, and we got conflicting reports. Some said that yes, 15 to 20 minutes, others said up to an hour. But the point is, the emergency services, I'm sure they tried their utmost best. We know that they're under-resourced. I know they're stretched out. So to suggest otherwise would be a bit problematic. I'm sure they did their best. But I think the wider point is that at the time of austerity cuts, that there should be a re-injection into our emergency services so they can respond to incidents like this, so it can prevent lives and you know, safeguard the security of the public.
Do you feel that enough security has been given to mosques in light of these attacks?
Well, yes and no. No, in the sense that I don't think the Muslim community wants exceptional security around mosques, because that further entrenches this feeling of victimhood. It further entrenches this feeling of exceptional treatment. I think what Muslim community really want is just to be treated the same. And if anything, you know, we're here in North London, the Jewish community is well known for organising their own protection units. I think the Muslim community should be allowed to organise community groups that protect their mosque, obviously in liaising with the local authorities, so that they're not targeted or labelled as vigilante groups. I think if we're allowed to protect our own institutions, I think, like the Jewish community do, I think that is something that would be more widely accepted. I don't think anyone wants preferential or exceptional treatment, just want equal treatment, to be honest.
Do you feel less safe walking the streets of London now than perhaps you did a year ago?
I feel less safe walking in the streets of England, period, since we invaded Iraq. And that's the reality, and that was echoed by Baroness Manning and Buller. That was echoed by a number of security officials, that as soon as we went into Iraq, the streets of Britain and West, by and large, became significantly not safe.
And there have been calls for calm. We saw the Imam at the mosque just a short time ago reiterating that. And we also saw the Imam last night, who was there calming the situation, telling people not to attack this man. How can that message get through to Muslims in the UK, that, and all faiths really, that this isn't a time of one community attacking another, this is a time for calm?
Look, I think in the wake of the Manchester Arena attack, the London Bridge attack, Grenfell Tower, and now Finsbury Park, we've seen that the general masses are good people. They come together, they put their differences aside. People of all faiths and no faith generally come together because ultimately these are neighbours, families, friends, childhood friends. So I don't think we need to be told in terms of a community to put these antagonisms aside. I think there needs to be a level of responsibility from our politicians and from the media establishment in how we try our best not to stoke these kind of antagonisms.
Dilly Hussain, thanks very much. Thanks for joining us. Well, behind me you can see police are still at the scene. We'll have more on this developing story at the top of the hour.